Hey guys, it's Marta.
And Lisa, and welcome back to
One,
the
two, three, funky.
With
our special guests.
Saif.
Emanuel.
The name, guys. How old are you guys, and where are you guys from?
Well, I guess I'll start. I'm Emanuel. I come from Peru, Denmark, and France. I'm 18 years old, and I've lived most of my life here in Luxembourg. I've been here like 16 years.
Okay. And you say?
I'm from Egypt. I was born in Fayoum. I'm 18 years old and came to Luxembourg in 2016. So that would mean like around 8 years since I was in Luxembourg.
Alright. Our next question is, what were your first perception of us?
and then we will do one for you guys.
Okay. Who should I start with?
With whoever you want.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start with you, Marta. You were a bit of. Well, you were a bit shy back then. You didn't really talk that much. But I could see that you had very interesting things to say in class, and the way you just dressed and all that, it seemed pretty different from everyone else. So I would say that you definitely stood out, but in a good way.
Thank you.
And as for you, Liesle, well, you all know that we were in P5
Yes.
back then,
Yes.
so
Those were some good times.
things were quite different.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you were a bit cold, but
I'm so sorry.
but
you
but
agree?
you definitely you seem like you've come far since then. So
Thank you so much.
Do you guys agree with Jenny's idea that Lisa was a bully?
I wouldn't say bully, but I would say I wouldn't blame someone who'd call her that.
Probably, yeah.
But I know that you went to a school that was kind of harsh, and where you were kind of forced to act a bit tough. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I got that.
Alright, thank you.
Most of us were pretty sensitive, so
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were quite. We're gonna get to that in a minute, but yeah. Safe, your turn.
so I'll start with I guess Marta. I thought you were just pretty smart. Sorry, but kind of nerdy, maybe.
Yeah.
And you were also pretty different. Like you I guess dress differently from the rest of us. Like you wouldn't really. I feel like you wouldn't really care about what other people thought about your appearances, and you like to express yourself a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And for Lise, I just thought you were kind of a bully. I don't know, is it okay for me to say names? Okay. You bully Yanni, I think. I don't.
See, the definition of bullying is very interesting.
Or
You
like
can-
joke bullying, not really
Yeah,
like.
I was teasing.
Teasing.
Yeah, I assume for you it was just
Teasing
mainly
and-
jokes
and
or
then-
teasing,
Yeah.
and then like for us,
But like you didn't
Yeah.
care. Like you didn't care much about. Like you weren't. You didn't care too much about comments. You would just take things lightly. You didn't. You wouldn't overthink things. Yeah.
Alright. Well, we have to do one.
Yeah.
Do you want to start? Oh.
Jinx. I'll start. I remember just you guys. When I first came to the school, I saw you all as a unit almost, because you guys were always together. And also in the beginning, I was in your guys' class for like 2 weeks, and then COVID happened, so I didn't really get the chance to like know you guys separately. But yeah, I just thought you guys were really tight knit, like a good friend group, and that you were just I don't know what much to say. I was not very perceptive at the time, but yeah, I remember you guys being just seeming like a really nice people, because you seemed very approachable as well. I wasn't like afraid to go talk to you guys if I needed to, if I remember correctly. But yeah.
Okay, I'll start with Emanuel. I guess first perception, you were very quiet and to yourself, but you stuck with the same group of people because those are the people you were most comfortable with. You were nice though, because I don't remember speaking much to you, but the few times we probably said a few words to each other, you were nice, I guess. Well, I guess you were nice. I say also now you've evolved into your own person. Like, it's not, you don't blend in anymore. It's like you are you. Like, you're known for your guitaring. Like, now you're film right now. Like, you're kind of establishing yourself as an individual, which I think is really cool. But overall, nice person. Also very sensitive. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. And then for Saif, the first time I met you as well, you were very goofy.
Really?
You were very goofy. Yeah, you were still shy, but you were still very outwardly goofy and didn't care what people thought of you. So like whatever you were doing with your friends, like it was your thing. So you were a bit, I wouldn't say a clown, just a goof. You know what I'm saying? Like a goof.
Yeah.
I mean also nice because I never really had anything terrible to say about you, but also very sensitive, I'd say.
Yes, that's true.
Which I guess we could, segue to that, I guess. P5 life.
P5.
Well, yeah, Marta wasn't there, but I was. This is the first time I went to an international school. I came from a Luxembourg school, and you guys have been there since?
We've been there since before.
Before, so you guys got to know each other more, you had your set friendships, and it was just a vibe for you guys, whereas I had to integrate it. But how was that for you guys from just moving to Luxembourg and then coming to an international school? Like, how was that for you? How was it making friends?
And you guys really were here for like the beginning.
Yes,
beginning.
we were 6 people in our English class.
Just keep talking.
Yeah. So basically, when I first came here, it was just really weird seeing only 6 people in the classroom, and like everybody just was a lot nicer from back in Egypt, like at school.
Did you compare it from Egypt to Luxembourg?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. In school in Egypt, the other students weren't really the nicest. They always, I had only like one friend there because everybody else wasn't really cool. They would use a bit, like a bit fat. So everybody would just bully him for that. At some point, even I think the teacher did, like they bullied him for being overweight. Yeah. And they would bully me for like, basically it was normal to disrespect the teacher and stuff like that. And when I would be like, because I wasn't really like that, I was, as they would say, I was polite, and that would be something they would criticize me for being polite. But yeah, everybody here is just a lot nicer. They actually care about like, if you're like sad or something, if you look upset, they would try to like tell you, like try to make you feel better. But if you did that back in Egypt, they would basically just make fun of you even more. But yeah, it was quite a harsh environment, I must say. But yeah, I overall liked it a lot.
And for me, I was in an international school before this already, ISL. So when I came here, it wasn't that different. It was better, I would say. But as you said, it was kind of like we got to know each other really well since we were only 6. It was actually
Who was
pretty
it,
nice.
the 6 people?
6 people. Me and him were the only ones still in the school.
They all left.
Yeah.
They all left. Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, I think the last one, you might know Ava. She came that year. Dylan, he came that year as well. We were in class with Dylan, and P3, P4, and P5 were all together, and we all made like a total amount of 6 people. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was really chill.
Yeah, it was really chill.
You're the OGs.
Yeah, you're actually the OGs.
Yep.
Yeah, like we're since
Do character
school
unlocks for the viewers.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, it was chill. It was nice. You guys got along well, even though.
Well, we've had a very complex friendship over the years, but it's only gotten better since then. But yeah,
Sorry?
it wasn't exactly that linear.
Yeah, we had our differences at some points and some conflicts.
But you guys still stuck together.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
which leads to my next question is, we kind of explained how you guys met, as in P4, right, at school. How was that? Like, when you first met each other, what were you guys' first perception of each other?
Well,
If you can remember.
for me, he was a bit of a. Well, he was. I saw him talking to another girl called Lila. I don't know if you know her. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And he was pretty good friends with her. So I got to know him mainly in that scenario, yeah. So he was a cool guy. He was nice. He was interactive. So yeah, I liked him. He was cool, and he was a bit shy as well, but so was I. So.
Yeah, everybody used to really be a bit shy at this stage.
Yeah, it was first day of school, like in the entire school. So yeah, it makes sense.
And what is the biggest conflict you guys have had in your friendship?
Conflict.
One where you just genuinely thought, oh, that's it, we're not going to be friends.
I know.
Yeah, well, we had a whole year where we didn't talk to each other.
There's actually two conflicts. Really.
Yeah, it was two conflicts. One in P4, we had a pretty big one there, but nowhere as near as the one in S2 where we didn't talk to each other in the whole entire year of S3.
Yeah.
So that one was probably the biggest.
We only really started talking at the end of S4. That's when we started interacting it slowly but surely we started.
But you guys still had the same friends, right? So you just
Of course.
wouldn't talk to each other?
Yeah.
But you still...
No, it was actually
Wow.
kind of
It was
like
a bit-
a
it was-
tug of war. So like,
It was a bit awkward, yeah.
Basically, like we would just be like normal,
Yeah.
our friend group, and then Emanuel would, for example, just talk to Yanni first, and then I'd have to wait like him to finish.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I come after, and then I can talk now.
That was so complicated.
Yeah.
And Yanni would get kind of annoyed at some point from us. Wasn't a great time, no.
Nah.
It's kind of like a tug of war with Yanni, basically.
Are we allowed to know what the conflict was, or is that too private?
Well,
No.
we can just say that it was mainly.
It was just
Yeah.
because of I wanted to like back in S2 in those times I was always like just attention hungry.
Yeah.
Basically, I would want to get Mando's attention no matter what. Like no matter what I would do.
Yes.
I would, for sometimes I would just like
You
be
do,
physical.
you do certain things which I didn't really appreciate.
Yeah.
And the way he saw it was a joke, and I saw it like as provocative.
Maybe it was maybe because of we had different backgrounds.
We had different backgrounds, and that really like was a challenge for us over the years. But we overcame it. Though after that year, we started talking again. And yeah,
we
we hadn't.
only made it stronger.
Yeah, we haven't had any conflicts since then. So yeah.
That's good. I guess, did you guys resolve this problem through COVID? Because S2 was the COVID era.
Yeah, it was. Well, no, we did not resolve it through COVID because S3 we were back
Alright.
and we didn't talk to each
Yeah,
other.
it was pretty hard to resolve it in COVID as well because we had the groups A and B, and I was in group A. So like basically everybody else was in group B. Him, Yanni, Martin, like all of the people. So yeah, I was basically just alone in the group A.
Right.
So we weren't
Yeah.
able to talk about it at all.
You know.
I do want to circle back as you guys individually during COVID. How was that like? What were you guys doing? And is there anything significant you learned that you take to this day? Like something that just sticks with you forever?
Well, during COVID, I would say that for us both, we probably enjoyed it a lot because we are. I mean, we're not that fan of going outside and doing a bunch of wild things. So we're fine with being inside.
We keep it to ourselves.
Yeah, we keep it to ourselves. So I enjoyed it really a lot. I managed to do a lot. I managed to, yeah, it was just really comfortable. You know, we had classes online. You know, you could wake up later.
Yeah.
That was just way better. And yeah, I think it was a really cool time. And that was the time where I started really liking guitar too. So I had a lot of time to practice. So generally, I liked that time. It was cool. Of course, it had its negatives.
So what I've learned during the COVID period, that was the
Yeah.
question.
Or just
And how
what
you
have-
experience it, like what you like most, what you like least.
So basically, what I like is a lot of the same things. Like I know basically getting to wake up late, just being in your like sort of comfort of your own home, basically. Because back in this was in S2, so I didn't since I didn't really talk with Emanuel then. I would only really talk to Yen, and Noah still wasn't in our friend group. So I didn't really enjoy going to school that much. So yeah, and what I would say I learned from the COVID period is to not think about things, like not get overly sad, because when we got this groups A and B thing, I spent a week plus talking to the teacher, talking to her over and over again, like, oh, I want to change groups, I want to resolve this. I would talk to the SIPAs over and over again, and I was literally, it was starting to get to me, like I wasn't focusing in class. I just thought it was unfair, especially like when Noah P, he changed groups, and I was like, oh my god, this is not just. And I would literally talk like with the teacher on Teams in caps. It was not the greatest way.
Caps on Teams.
Yeah, like in like
That's
big
crazy.
big letters.
Okay.
So yeah, I just learned to take things a little bit easier, just calm down a little bit and treat the situation like don't overreact. Treat the situation with the right amount.
Yeah,
Like,
come to parties, man.
That's fair. Right. Well, that's very interesting. I think we're gonna move on to a bit of a random question. I think it's good to ask the color question. I think it's right. The color question is, I like to ask my friends sometimes the most randomest question out of the blue.
Right.
I don't do as much now, but it's my favorite thing to do. Color question is, you get to assign me and Marta one color, and you have to explain why you assign us this color. And we'll do the same for you. So you can go off of vibes or just personality, anything you like. But have a little moment to think. And yeah. If you're ready, just go for it.
And then, did you say we're gonna do the same for them?
Yeah. Sorry. If I didn't say it, we're going to do the same for you too.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, as well.
You ready? Yeah? Okay. You guys, floor's yours. They're already ready.
Alright, well, so for Marta, I would say, I don't know why, but probably Baldur, you know that color?
Boulder, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Boulder's that red. The hoodie.
yeah, it's dark
Yeah.
red. I would not be able to explain it that well, but maybe it's based on the colors I've seen you wear in your clothes. You wear more like dark colors. So, but essentially, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because sometimes we do associate things with certain colors and we don't know how to explain it exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's personally interesting because there are some people who can, like, for example, hear colors, and I don't know like how that works. But for you, I would say it's more of a dark, more warm color, and I don't really know how exactly why, but
It's just a vibe.
just
It's
a
just a
vibe.
vibe.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Just when I think of you, I would say dark colors, like Bordeaux, I'd say. And for you, Lisley, it would probably be dark blue.
I love that. His favorite color.
But for you, I have more of a reason, I would say. For like, you seem like a very balanced person, someone who like is stable, who knows what you want, and you have confidence. And I think dark blue really like reflects that. I don't know exactly how, but it makes me think like a dark ocean, but not a like a really wild storm, but just a bit calm, So yeah, I'd say that's my picks.
That's super cool. Thank you. I also forgot to explain why. So these color questions also gives you a little outlook of how people see you,
Yeah.
which is really interesting because everyone gives us such different colors, but then the reasoning is like, it's just so different and so deep, and it's just interesting because maybe you don't see yourself like that. You're like, oh, I didn't know you saw me like that. So it's just an interesting question to ask. But Marta, do you have a question? Do you have a color? Already?
Saif.
Oh, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I
Lisa,
can't.
where are you today?
I'm sorry. I can't speak nothing, but yeah.
Alright, so I'll start with Marta. So for you, I would say yellow, because yellow is usually like associated, with happiness.
Yeah.
I thought you were always like really like sort of always happy,
Yeah.
energetic,
Yeah. Optimistic.
optimistic.
Yeah.
You would always like, I guess a leader would usually lead, like if there's like a hangout or doing something as a group, you would usually be the one who's, telling everyone what to do, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, and for these days, I would say like cold silver.
Okay, it's interesting.
Yeah, because I just think you don't really care about what others think. Like you are always like, I think you're nonchalant, kind of.
Okay.
Also like because in cold, like you're a bit cold as well. I think.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know, like gray, like silver is usually like, I don't know why, but in my head, I just associate silver with somebody who just doesn't seem to care so much about what others think. But that's just in my head, I don't know.
You know what's funny? Someone has given me gold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's got all the
See,
medals.
same, like it's such an interesting thing. But all right, thank you, guys. If you take something away from the video, I'm cold. I'm joking. I'm joking. But Marta, do you have a color?
I do.
Yeah.
So for Emanuel, I would say a dark purple, because I don't know if it's on purpose, but you do still give off that kind of like mysterious vibe of like, I don't know anything about you, even though like we do, like we're in the same class and everything and we have talked, but it's still, you do give that kind of mysterious vibe, and I think purple is a really mysterious color, but it's also a really deep color, and from talking to you, it's really clear that you like to look at like the deep meanings behind everything, and so I think purple really describes that really well. And then for Saif, I give like an orange, maybe like a bright orange, because again, when I see you with your friends, you're always really happy or whatever, you're like talking, smiling, whatever, and then when somebody else goes talk to you, you put like a barrier. So it's less mysterious than Emanuel, because Emanuel, like even when you're talking to friends, sometimes I don't know if you're smiling or not, you're just still yeah, but then for you, I know that there's that side of you, but for other people, you kind of like put that barrier into like, guess you get to know them better, you're comfortable with them.
That's true.
Yeah, so I think orange kind of like encapsulates that.
I do try to show a bit more of that side, but
Yeah.
it usually shows up gradually, more like as I talk more with the person, then it starts to show up more.
Yeah. Lisa?
Okay, I will start with Emmanuel. I want to give you this rustic brownish, reddish color, orange. It's just a rusty kind of color, because I'm tapping into the more music side of you. Don't know why, but you remind me of one of those New York apartments, like New York rustic designed house apartments with those musician framed pictures and a brick wall. That's the vibe. I'm going off the vibe. That's the vibe you give me. Because when I think of you, I usually think of music. Because again, like I said, when like after COVID, that's when you came out of your shell more and you kind of did your thing, which really established you as an individual. So I think that's the color I'd give to you. Also, it's a warm color, but it's very mystique too. Like you cannot really it's like a mix of something. You can't really grasp what it is, but it's like it's there.
Okay.
And also, it's a warm color. I wouldn't say you're cold because you seem like a warm person. Like Marta said, you're a deep thinker. You can tell. And when we have a conversation with you, it's like a flowing conversation, and it's nice, so it's warm. And that's why I get the color from. And then for Saif, I would give you like the color of sand. I don't know if it's a beige. It's not a beige. It's like a specific color. It's like a sandy color, because I'm not saying you're shy, because you are not shy. You're a fraud, and I know that. It's just you have the people you're comfortable with, and then those you're not, and then the ones you know you don't. And that's completely understandable. Everybody's like that. But like sand is so still. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like it's a still color, and it's just
Because I have like this constant like personality in me. Like I have the same people who I'm comfortable with, and the people who I'm not.
No, yeah, I see.
And like it's always like this.
I want to say sand can be hot and cold. Like if there's sand is like hot or cold depending on how warm it is. Like if you are barefoot, like it's warm, but then if it's cold, it's cold. It's like a change in temperature. Like the environment around it is what changes the sand's like vibe, I guess. So it's you. So depending on the people around you or people you're with, talking to, whatever, you're more open or less open. That's what I know about that. It took a bit because I was trying to get my thought through, but because I didn't want to say something and it would, it's not genuine. That's why I would go. But it's very specific, the sandy color. But it's like sand and the color sand. I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen, then people can see it, and then you guys can see when the episode comes out. But yeah. What color hoodie did you guys pick?
Color hood. Well, I picked like dark red.
Same thing.
Yeah, I think it's
nice. It's really
yeah, it's nice.
It's you?
Yeah, the dark.
Alright. I finished. I'm done. Okay.
Have you guys given yourselves the color?
Ourselves
And then each other.
Okay.
You have to choose one.
So me, like I give myself and then I give to Saif.
You first give yourself a color. Like,
Right.
No, first you give to Saif, and then
Okay.
Saif gives to you, and then you guys give yourself.
Okay. Well, Saif, I would probably give you yellow, like them. Yellow orange, because I mean, yeah, I think the metaphor with the sand that stays one place, it's an interesting one because I think it does reflect a lot, like a person you are. You're someone who likes what they know, so you like to be in your bubble, and that's completely fine. But sand does move though. It's not like it's static, because when the sea it like rises, then the sand eventually moves. So yeah, but I'll give you for sure yellow.
See. All right. For you, I would say, well, also sand color, but it's for the reason that this, like, you have, like, it's kind of like me as well in a way, where you also have people who, like, you genuinely, like, you have this talent where you're able to just make yourself like look like you don't want to talk like this. When you don't want to talk to someone, you're able to let them know that without saying anything to them.
Okay. Yeah.
So it really depends on the person. Like you have the people that you open up to and have deep conversations with,
Right.
really warm conversations with. You open up with them a lot, and yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And then a color for yourself.
For myself, I would probably take either purple or blue. And honestly, I think Marta has a pretty much like it's not the same reasons as you chose, but purple is a bit of a color of mystery, and I wouldn't say necessarily I try to be that or anything, but I just always I like to stick to what I know and to what I am. And at some point in my life, like I tried to do like everyone else and everything, and then at some point I just realized, well, there's no point. I think it's better to be yourself and not care what everyone else thinks. So, yeah, I don't know. Colors is a bit something I struggle with. I don't know exactly how to describe it. It mainly comes down to ambience for me. Like when it's green, it's someone, like pure, someone likes nature and everything. So it's really vibes for me. So for me, I'd say purple probably. What do you say?
I'm trying to think of a color I can associate with being not liking change, but I don't know what that would be.
Perhaps yellow.
Yellow? Maybe yellow. Like it's because I'm a person who really does not like change. Like I always like to, stay with what I'm familiar with. Like for example, I usually don't like, for example, going that much into new places, like with like new environments. I just like to, stay with the group, stick to the norm, and not change about it too much. Like just keep it with what we know best. But I'm unsure as to what color that would be associated with exactly.
I mean, you could also do like black. Black is always hard to mix with other colors.
Yeah, exactly. Black maybe.
Yeah, some people would argue it's a shade, but you know what? It's a color for us today. So it's alright. Alright, you done, guys? Yes?
Yeah.
I'll move on to the next question, which for Saif. I know you have a sibling, well, 2 siblings.
3 now.
3 now?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
I
tell
have a
us
baby
about
sister now.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
But what is it like to be oldest brother? You're the eldest?
Yeah.
The eldest brother. What's that like? Do you have a lot of responsibility on your hands?
Yeah, usually when you have like your siblings, your younger siblings, like they are like they disrespect you or do stuff like that. You're usually expected, like for me at least, I'm expected to just I'm supposed to teach them, like tell them, no, don't do that. Even like, or I don't know, like if one of my siblings hits me, I'm supposed to be like all calm and tell them don't do that. And maybe even sometimes if they do talk badly, then it would be my fault because I didn't teach them enough. Like I didn't talk to them about it in the right way, or I didn't teach them correctly. But yeah, you tend to have that responsibility when you're with sibling.
And is that sibling you're most closest with?
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah.
I'm mostly
And
close.
what is currently the topic that you're most passionate discussing about?
With the siblings or your brother? With your brother.
Games.
Games is games. That's
Yeah.
a bonding thing.
Yeah, we just talk about games a lot of the time. There's all sorts of games.
Right. Do you have any pets for the both of you?
Yeah, I have a dog.
You have a dog. I mean, when did you get that dog? It was
Well, I got the dog. He remembers it was exactly the year where we both started in school. Back before, yeah.
With the pet her.
Yeah, she was a bit like the mascot of the class.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I had a dog before that, but she passed away like, well, it's been like 3-4 years now. So yeah.
So did you guys have a funeral? Or was it just...
Well, yeah, sort of a bit. Yeah, I'd say so. Sort of, yeah. But she died in a peaceful way, which is all I care about.
That's good.
Mm.
Right, we're gonna move on to an invasive question. Marta, you take this one. I shall stay quiet.
Are you guys in a relationship right now?
In relationship?
Yeah.
Well, you want to start? Well, I mean,
Well, no, because in my religion, it's not really permissible to have like a relationship like this. I mean, obviously, yes, you can socialize, you can talk, stuff like that, but you can't do any of the more advanced stuff before you get into marriage, basically. Like it's you keep it like calm, basically, until marriage. So no, I'm in a relationship.
Emanuel?
and no, I'm not in a relationship. Yeah, not much to say about that.
Alright. Have you guys, well, we know Saif hasn't had a love life yet, but you, Emanuel,
Yes.
what's your love life like? Give us a
Well,
rundown.
I would say I've definitely learned a lot from it. I think it's definitely interesting knowing a person in that way. It's completely different. And considering that I'm someone who doesn't speak that many to that many people other than my friends, it was definitely an experience. And I think I would not have been the person I am today if it weren't for that life, at least. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I regret that much. Not the most regretful person about my past relationships, but yeah, I've come far since then, I guess.
Right, that's good.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, you can ask a question.
What are you doing?
I just want to know what that was, but it's fine.
So let's talk a little bit about past and future. Because say if you already said like you come from Egypt and then you moved here and you went directly to the school. But you and Manuel said you were from Peru, France, and Denmark. How does that work?
So my dad is French, half Peruvian. My mom is Danish, and yeah, I come from Peru.
Okay.
So
Were you born in Peru or were you?
Yeah, I was born in Peru, and then I
Okay.
came to Luxembourg when I was like 3. And I speak Danish to my mom and Spanish to my dad.
And you speak French too, the three of them together?
No, they speak French together. I speak, yeah, both Danish to my mom and Spanish to my dad.
Okay. Why are you in the English section?
Because I was in ISL. My parents they put me in ISL, and I went there until like P4, and then I came here. But so I've always known English. It's probably like the language I can write best in, even though I speak the other ones. Like I would say I'm still better at English because I speak it every day now. So yeah.
Yeah. And then for the future, what do you guys want to do in the future? What are your plans for after when this year is over?
Well, for after school, I'm going to a music type course. It's not a university, but it's like well, yeah, it's like you call it in Danish a high school. It's like it translates to high school, but it's not the same thing. It's like a school where it's more chill. You get to learn a course. There's a lot of bonding. So it's like the main theme in that school, and it's only a thing in Denmark, and it's mainly to have fun, actually, essentially. So I need to do that so I can keep my Danish passport. I need to prove that I'm Danish. So I'm gonna live there for like a few months. Yeah. But after that, I'm gonna study psychology, likely.
Fun? Music?
Well, after school, I'm not still, it's not definitive which university I'm going to yet. There's 2 options which I'm considering at the moment. There's the University of Maastricht, it's in the Netherlands, and then the one in Luxembourg, like the one in Belgium. So it's in between these 2, and I want to study computer science. I want to study computer science because I like problem solving. I enjoy it. I like to think logically, yes. And, yeah.
Do we stop now and continue later?
No, do the 3 last. This is
Two,
for you.
3 last questions.
Yeah.
I'll start. From your whole life up until now, what's one thing you want to take with you to the future?
From my whole life.
From your whole life. It can be anything too, it doesn't have to be like a physical object.
It could also be scent, a vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I really, I would say it's probably music. 'Cause for me, music's just way more than just listening and having a good vibe and like things like that. For me, it's really, it represents like a certain type of emotion that I had or moment, and then you can capture it and you can go back to that time. So for me, I would say music really helped me like become what I am today in all ways, and it kind of helps you well go through moments that are tough. So I would definitely say that, but also there's a lot of things I've learned. So yeah.
Yeah? Safe?
Something, it doesn't have to be physical.
It can be though if you want.
I'm not really sure. Well, maybe maybe my faith, like my religion. I would take my religion. I would never want to be anything else. I would never want to leave it. I'm proud to be Muslim, and I guess I can't really think of anything that I want to stay with me like forever, except that. Almost a lot of things about myself I want to change, but yeah, that's the one thing like that I want to keep with me. But yeah.
Lisa?
Now we get into the second last question, which is my favorite and fan favorite. Emanuel and Saif, you get to ask me, Marta, any question under the sun. I say you guys can. No, I say you guys can do
One question.
each, or one question we both have to answer. You guys can think of one question together or separately. Listen, think logically, but you'll never have this opportunity ever again.
We will lie every other time. So
We'll lie
to be
every other
honest.
time. We're going to be very truthful now.
Yeah.
So the floor is yours.
Okay. So any question.
Any question.
So one question each.
Or one question for both.
Okay. I mean.
Is it okay? It's alright if we think about it, right? We can.
You mean cut it off?
Yeah. Edit the
Yeah,
video,
yeah.
right?
And yeah, you can edit.
Yeah, we're going to edit
Yeah.
this while you guys are thinking.
A lot of options, you know. A lot of questions.
Yeah, any review?
These like,
I mean,
who is in S1 in Ash?
you-
No.
No one?
What do you mean?
Like in S1, S7 from right now, who did S1 in Ash?
There's Ines, there's
Okay.
all them kids.
I'll ask Ines then.
I don't know.
Can you ask Ines if she can send you any S1 pictures? Yeah. Thank you.
Marie also actually, but I don't think she's going to send you.
No. Yeah.
I apologize. This takes a
No, it's
while.
No worries, trust me, we've had longer pauses than this.
Just keep that in mind.
Alright, I guess I have one.
Right, okay.
You?
Okay. What's the question? For each of us?
Yeah, basically for both of you. I'm just interested to know how do you manage to be how do you manage to be so social or extroverted? I really want to know that.
Right, so you want to start?
I can start.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Like,
I am.
I just imagine you guys like you were just like that always.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to ever overcome anything anything that would stop you from being
Yeah.
extroverted.
I'm glad you perceive that, and I know many other people also see me as like a super duper extrovert. At least like calls me an extrovert, when I myself see myself really, really introverted, because I think I inherited from my parents. My dad is super introverted. My mom is super extroverted, and she
Okay.
she craves that social life. She craves talking to people, and my dad does not. And so I've inherited that from both of them. It's like I need to talk to people. I can't be alone. But also I hate going up to people. If somebody comes up to me, I'm fine. I'm great. I hate the act of like going up to somebody and asking something. And it's something I've had to actually work on to force myself. Like, Marta, what's the worst thing that can happen? And then the worst thing is not that bad, and then I go. But what's actually worked better is I just take an emotional support buddy. Lisa has often been my
hell no, she did not go me.
emotional support buddy, where I need to talk to somebody. I don't want to go alone. And so Lisa comes and she just stands there.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't even do anything. She's just right next to me, and then I speak. But since there's somebody there, like I feel more comfortable. And so that really helps. But yeah, I'm not inherently this extroverted. Yeah.
I see. That's why maybe Lisa is most of the time the one who's telling us about the podcast. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa is also just Lisa.
Yeah, no, because I really don't care, but I'm gonna get to it. The thing is, alright, I'm not extroverted. I feel it's really funny you guys think that.